Hello, and welcome back to this Trails of Cold Steel 4 Let's Play with me, SLJ RPG. In the last episode, we had the great meeting of everyone. Well, of the main protagonists from each of the arcs came together for the first time. We do, however, see the test waiting room, the people inside, through Cassius and Liberal's waiting room. There are some optional places, because we already accidentally did this, but we skip past these, which I think is important to see. So, someone's talking on the other side.
And an exclusive interview like this sure makes my day. What are your thoughts on the developments since the trade conference 2 years ago? What's your take on the recent incidents in the Principality?
I've answered those questions for the Art and Press before.
Grace, was it? Listen, Grace, it's all very well that you're motivated. You should think about your questions beforehand. Somehow it hurts me more being told off by a stunningly beautiful woman.
Sounds like they're in the middle of a spirited conversation. So the Liberal waiting for now. So we already did that, but we missed out on these, which I feel like will have important context.
President Raxman, in your opinion, how's the prognosis of Calvert?
Not too bad, I'd say for now. Lady Modine's sharp intellect is truly something to be feared, isn't it? The situation being as it is, I'm determined to see things through on my end.
President Raxman.
What the new party does with the country once it's in their hands, though, I couldn't really say. I might have some information that could be of interest to you.
Okay, and we're just going to skip this. We're going to skip this because we already saw it, so go back and watch that. People have moved to new locations. Once the main story is progressed, recorded sub-events, optional content will become unavailable once you progress. Which is A-okay, so... we've got a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's speak to these guys first. As we do more talking. Okay.
I'm terribly sorry about earlier. You're so taken aback, I was making Jose. Thank you for being so kind. Of course, considering the subject, it was no wonder you became agitated. You have a huge responsibility on your shoulders as a representative of the Imperial family. Thank you for being so understanding. Now that the alarm bells, let's wait for the announcement at dinner and try not to worry for now, but... Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Estelle Bright, member of the Liberal Bracer Guild. Great honor to meet you in person, Princess Alphen. There's no need to be so formal. I've heard so much about you from my brother, it feels like we're actually friends. Oliver was a dear friend. What happened to him was a terrible shock. He went out of his way to get permission for me and Joshua to visit Hamel once things had settled down in Liberal. When we heard what happened to him, we were both so heartbroken and angry. Me, Joshua, Shara, we wish there was all something we could have done to stop it. I'm sure all our grief is nothing compared to what you must be going through, though. Thank you for been a good friend to my brother. I feel a little bit knowing that there was people who cared about him so much. Oliver was a thoughtful and brave man, a lot of fun to be around. When I hesitate about whether to accept my duty as the Crown Princess, he gave me the push I needed. He also fostered friendly relations between Aravonia and Liberal. Despite his airhead appearance, he was a smart leader.
Damn straight.
Thank you, Claudia. You teased me for being so easily moved to tears. You'd come with a line like,
"At a time like this, I'd like you to be the ray of sunshine, which makes the courage bloom."
Does sound like him. Regrettably, I'd never had a chance to meet him in person. I heard about him encouraging a greater integration and cooperation between all nations. Please accept my sincere condolences, Princess Alphen. Thank you, Lucy. You were Claudia's upperclassman at school, weren't you? Really? Oh my gosh! Actually, Chloe, did Claudia tell us about that Lecter person before? Does that mean... That's correct. I went to Liberal to study at the Janus Royal Academy. I was on the student council together with Lecter Arundel. You two looked after me really well back then. It made my school life that more enjoyable.
There we go. That's where else she's from. Fuck me. Okay, what a small world.
He's an Ironblood and a member of the Intelligence Division. A stranger person than I thought. But the famously beautiful Vice President would force the student council president to listen to her no matter what. That'd be me. Chloe, I wish you wouldn't spread exaggerated rumors about me. Sorry, but they're not so exaggerated at all. Even now, I can't forget the time you were asked the most important thing in the world and responded with strength. Just like you're just trying to embarrass me. Did I really say that to you? Not directly. I overheard your conversation with Hans. So you were following me around and listening to my conversations with other students.
Good to know. I wouldn't have guessed they would know each other so well. My blood was so beloved by people from different backgrounds. It's a real shame he died so young. I'm curious to hear more about Claudia and Lucy's school life too. No lecture sounds on the opposite side of his former classmates. Sure he'll cross paths with him again, and with Claire too. We're gonna talk once again.
Sorry, we were talking amongst ourselves and leaving you out. I can get going if we have some space.
Hey, don't leave my account. You haven't seen each other in a while. I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. Getting to exchange a few words with you in person has been a great honor. With luck, we'll meet again and have a longer chat then.
You're too humble, indeed. Oh, weren't you one of the testers on the Orbital Communication Network? I have a test account from Ren. How about you say we exchange network addresses?
Are you sure?
Don't be silly. Miss Claudia doesn't limit her circle to the upper classes. When she enrolled at the academy, she did so under an assumed name in order to be treated like any normal girl. I don't need a spokesperson, Lucy.
In that case, I'm glad you give me my network address. Now play Plum Pom Party against the princess, which is the other thing I was wanting. So, let's do this. Come on, Princess Claudia.
Let us begin.
Let us begin indeed. There is no viable options for me here, annoyingly. But this is a viable option. Boom. Boom. And this certainly is. Bam. Nice. Bam. All the chains. Give me all the chains. One for there. One for there. I annoyingly screwed myself there, that's fine. But red, we'll just go for here for now. What I really need is nice. Perfecto. Should set off a chain reaction. She's so far ahead of me, holy shit. That's fine. Oh, fuck. Wrong one. That's fine. Go. I need a blue, I need a blue. I need a blue. I need a... We'll go for here. A chain reaction sorts in. Over here, and then boom. Nice. Should have said a chain reaction of some sort. Over here. Boom. Here comes all the chains. Go for here. Boom for here. Push even more. Boom, boom, boom. That's fine. Nice, that's perfect.
My sincerest congratulations.
Boom. Nice, first time we won. And we got some new material as well. Definitely take that one. Okay. So this is the... I'm actually going to leave these guys to the end. These conversations with the presidents. Let's speak with these guys. Hey Reed, don't be a stranger, come join us. What have you guys been talking about? Jaeger troop movement, stuff related to the war? There's Ouroboros' presumed plans as well. We'll be wondering about those things too. Right now it looks like they're both serving the Imperial government just like the gnomes. It's a really nasty mix if you ask me. Northern Jaegers and Nidhogor are a different situation though. The Imperial Defense Force forced them to cooperate using hostages. They're currently looking for a chance to free them. Now, what they do from now on depends on whose pockets they find themselves in. Shirley's a key member of the Red Constellation, so be sure they're in tune with Ouroboros' schemes. As for Zephyr, the gnomes hide them, but ultimately up to the boss what they decide to do. Don't know for details yet. There's also Ouroboros' advanced Jaegers, the troop at the former 3rd Anchoress deployed during the incident in Liberal. You and the others encountered some of them in Hammer. So all of you, you've got a decent intelligence network to draw on. Make a really good team.
Yeah.
If there's any info we don't have, the Divine Blade and Golden Mark Shasta are here too. It's hard to believe Mille managed to get all these people under one roof. Pretty mad. He moved like not acquaintance, of course, Gilbert. Throwback. Yeah, so we'll do those ones next time. Okay, here we go.
Spy my little Elise Schwarzer, Princess Alphin's trusted friend and sister of the Essen Chevalier. You're friends with Lady Modine too, aren't you? We need to talk. If you have questions about my friends, I'd rather you talk to them directly. I'm no gossip. I wouldn't have tried to drag out any embarrassing stories about your friends. Nothing of the sort.
You're a reporter from Crosswell? She's the next target on your hunt for a big skill.
It made me sound like some sort of fifth predator. The only thing first about me is my intellect. Hold on, aren't you Ash Carbide? The guy who shot the Emperor? What's the truth behind that? How did you feel to pull the trigger?
What did I get myself into now?
You're the tall gentleman, the 8th Dominion of the Growls Ritter. There's several topics I'd like to interview you in depth about. Not that I'm totally in the dark about what you've been up to. Wazzy, Kevin, Reese have all spilled sunbeams. Did they? Don't be shy, don't bite. Seems like this is party corner. Here comes the hero to join us. This is perfect. Let's go over to that empty room over there so we can talk in private.
I'm not against the interview, but much rather you didn't have my friends and family for one.
Sorry. A little ahead of myself there, I guess. If anything you could tell me that I could quote in my report, like maybe a short comment from each of you.
It's not really unreasonable, for sure. Dude, speak for yourself. If I give her dirt on you,
being a little overprotective.
Typical Reen, really. Operates on a whole new level. So we've got the girls there, the gals, gal pals. Any more up here? Okay, there are. Okay, there's a whole bunch of rooms still. Hey, gal pals.
So your mum moved to Erebonia. She couldn't stand Crosswell after splitting with my father, who's Galverdian. She moved in with some distant relatives of hers in the Empire. It was 10 years ago, but time really does fly. You've told me about this before. I feel like I'm gonna forget to do something.
That rings a bell. Just the relatives of the noble McDowell family in Crosswell. Debbie Barnes of Easton Lemaire, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, of course, you're from Lemaire yourself. You're right.
Families, trees can go sprawling. You can't easily tell who's related to who. Like Barnes families is also distant relatives of my family.
Oh.
It makes sense, look at them.
Maybe that's why the hair color is the same. The pearl grey shade is definitely unusual. Two of you have almost the exact same shade. That's right, you ran to the family. We're very distant cousins, but we share the same blood, nonetheless. I had no idea. What a pleasant surprise. Really, Eloquin, a cousin. Glad to have you as my family, Lady McDowell. That's so sweet. Now I'll be tense up every time I talk to Ellie. Why would you do with that? Where would that be, Miss Corford? No reason. Supposed to seem to the close link between Erebonia and Crosswell, which stretched back centuries. Crystal's always been cooperating with Calvert for a long time. Now they're in this awkward position when they have to choose between one ally or the other. It feels so wrong.
Lisa, it's precisely the case.
I hope you don't have any right to say that, considering my own position. No, your honesty is much appreciated. It's wonderful to talk to you, Lisa. Thank you for all the advice, Ellie. Really nice to be in the company you really get along. Friendship is beautiful, isn't it? And about Ellie's mother, or at least someone who seemed like her, living in an Erebonian town. Guess that was nagging me earlier.
Yeah, of course, all know. Lucy and Ellie met in Crosswell and we've been good friends ever since. Juna's friends with both of them. She's an amiable girl. I wouldn't have seen it coming that we're chatting to the principal. Hey, how you doing?
Very well, just catching up with friends. We've been exchanging messages since we met 3 months ago, which got that we have some shared interests. Don't tell him.
Oh, what interests?
Why is Elisa so cagey about?
Oh wait, I have an idea.
Never mind. Ellie, let's talk about that in private. We're in a similar situation anyway. Sure that you have nothing to worry about. You'd be surprised. I feel like I'm kid lost in the dark. We'll get there in time. So also you could probably learn a thing or two from him as well.
I'm not sure what the conversation was about, but I'm always reminded there's plenty of need for me to learn from the others. That's funny. That is funny. Hey, which room first? This room is one I actually want to not do, but I'm gonna have to. This one's an interesting one, sword fighters. This one is again very Lloyd must be in this one. No, where is Lloyd? Okay, let's speak to the witches.
Have you been any updates on Hercules? We're still unable to locate them, but with Ramda's star function, mobility of the gunship, they're hard to track down. We're not going to give up, of course.
Have they requested the Bracer Guild's help with this?
Yes, although we've been haven't been able to take up any new information since we lost sight of them in the canyon. I heard about that. Special Forces squad equipped the latest technology wants to disappear. It'll take a miracle to track them down. The Ramda. We've seen firsthand in Heimdall how spatial projection function can seriously impede pursuit. Only that surrender. There's no room for negotiations with Mirage. Maybe the curse has progressed too far for that. The Dark Dragon made the members of Hercules' squad into its kin back in Heimdall. The Grand Twilight must have taken them and twisted them into Familiar. Familiar? Those vampires from Arabonian folklore, if I'm not mistaken. Any way to make them human again? It's possible if you act quickly. If you find them within a few days, they should be fine. That's our time frame.
Let me know if you pick up the trail.
I might be able to help in some capacity. You're volunteering to help? It's much appreciated.
Good to know. The Hexing clan might be able to help out. Okay. Set to the assaulted group. Hey, Swarzer.
Hey, guys. Discussing armed forces movements from different fronts. Rasheen, I'm surprised to see you with them. I've got my reasons.
We overheard we're trying to get a better picture, but where each militarized faction is allocating its resources. Inside the Weissen army, I wanted to check in with the Bracers and the armor divisions.
They must have been looking into the armor divisions. Seems like they've established a new squad.
The guild's also keeping an eye on the situation. We're tracking high-ranking Jaeger Corps movements, engaging the neighboring countries' responses. Be helpful to trade info with you guys.
I see.
You're gathering intel on military movements, Rasheen?
As a matter of fact, yes. There's no organization that understands and fears the Great Twilight more than the Zemuria Church. Details are confidential. We've already decided which measures to take. Seriously?
Can you imagine what that means? We'll benefit from cooperating. In any case, we'll return to Operation Mirage at dinner. Now let's take a break. Sounds like a plan. I'm gonna hear the details of the operation. Gotta be more patient. I should walk around some more. Interesting. So the Growls like to know to make the move, but which Gaius is one? So you would think not have any things. Right. Come on, Angelica.
I'm Key Bannings. It means tell me lots about you, Tita. Nice to meet you. I'm Tita Russell. Can't believe you ran. She's so cute.
Yeah, that's how most people react to her.
It must be Angelica Rockner. Nice to meet you. I'm Ren Bright. Ren? I heard you trained in Potato Star by Angelica Roran. That's cool. Nice to meet you, Angie. Or do you like Angelica better? I've tried and gone to heaven. What? Angelica, are you alright? Only 2,000 arch above ground. Seems that we're flying close to the heavens. You alone is an angel, but 3 of you together form an angelic choir. Now, calm down. Remain calm, Angelica.
Silly, what's going on?
It's me. I was having a nap and I woke up to this. Can't stand it anymore. Angelica, she's faster than lightning. Hug attack. My life is complete.
Weird. Just waiting for things to calm down so I can say hello.
Hey,
Sorry about Angelica, she's a good person. Something of George about her. The women's were inhuman. She manipulated by the nose, did something like that struck. She's just like this. How could I lose control? That is funny. Okay. The swordsman's.
Cassius, how have you been? When was it we last saw each other?
Goodness, 4 years ago at least. Sorry I missed your A-rank promotion ceremony.
Coincided with the Orbital shutdown. There was no helping it. Thank you for writing my recommendation.
You're welcome. Have you managed to come to terms with Colonel Vanishteen passing away?
Yes, I've been lucky surrounded by good supportive friends from the Bracer Guild and my wonderful students.
Mara is one of my students, and Kurt's a student of a student.
I'm Laura Sage. You, sir, are a legend. Truly an honor to meet you in person.
Very glad to meet you too, Laura. The pleasure of working with Victor on the Bracer Guild branch bombing case. Praise you highly. Please accept my sincere sympathy. His loss must have hurt you dimly.
Thank you, sir. My father once told me that seeing your prowess with the staff or a sand would be a beneficial experience for me. I believe you were self-taught?
Not quite. I learned from basics from a friend. Also took a liberty of incorporating teachings of the 8 Leaves Blade School into it.
I'm very impressed, sir. Only those who are very talented are able to do so. Kurt, why don't you introduce yourself? Yes, I'm Kurt Vander, younger brother of Mille Vander and nephew of Zex Vander. Pardon me, sir. You're quite the hero. I feel a bit overwhelmed.
Take it easy. I'm not all they say about me. I met your brother and uncle. I don't believe I've ever spoken to your father. When things calm down, I'd like to pay a visit to you folks. I've been rather impolite to not having done so yet.
Not at all. I'm sure my mother and father will be thrilled to meet you.
Cassius has a lot of connections, both in the army and amongst the bracers. I could spend the whole evening talking about him without sort of play, but it would be rude to monopolize him like that. If you I'll rely on your master's message relay your master's message if you want the circumstances are right. But at a time when great determination and sacrifice are needed, there's no doubt to come. There we go. Have to be patient.
Reed, come and join us.
Don't mind if I do. By the way, was a Silver Streak an acquaintance of yours, Cassius? Yes, a pupil of mine at the guild. Very odd that she's vanished into thin air, however.
Yes, there seems no one seems to be able to track her whereabouts. She wasn't at the Gnosis HQ. Could it be possible that Ouroboros abducted her?
No, Shira as a relative is among the ranks of Ouroboros. I find it hard to believe that they've kidnapped her.
I think I know who you mean. Charizard mentioned her to me when we were out drinking. Person number 6, the Bewitching Belle.
Jubilee.
That's her. She set up with Liberail during the Orbital shutdown too. Her unknown whether she's still alive. Seems she hasn't reported back to Ouroboros since that incident. We haven't written her off as dead yet though. It's assumed the situation is similar to Blancs. That she's out there somewhere going about her business. The Silver Streak was like a little sister to her though. She wouldn't keep it quiet if Ouroboros had abducted her.
I see. She might as well drop that line of investigation. My, if it isn't Star Roach's Jubilee the Swift. You seem very well informed.
I'd say the same about you, especially since you don't have ties with Ouroboros yourself. I understand why the Faceless was remarkably wary of you. My lord is also intrigued by you. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear how you achieve mastery in so many disciplines. Swordplay, military art, strategy. I hear your master's disciple, Arios, was just like you. Yes, I've heard rumors about him. For reference, if you could tell us if there's any particular trick to it. Not that it impresses me all that much, but you and the outset are written down as the first finest was alive, so it must count for something.
Can't think of many honors greater than the Maiden of Legend herself taking an interest in me. Well, ask me anything and I'll try to satisfy your curiosity, although we may not be able to go into much detail at this time.
That's fine. First of all, why did you give up the sword and switch to the staff?
You're really so easy to read. That's part of her charm. She applies to everyone and doesn't look down on others even if they're her enemy.
It's expected of the Still Maiden's disciple. I looked up to her as well.
No, I sense someone spying from over there. To be honest, I'm honored to think you worthy of your attention, Julie.
Should have known. Should have known I couldn't stay hidden. Don't get me the wrong idea. I wasn't just sitting there waiting for your meeting to end or anything. A few questions about your school's concept of enlightenment.
I can't promise it will be comprehensive, but I will tell you what I can. I say to Mastery both the General Brian and the Divine Blade of Wind have reached. Here's to him, but I shouldn't butt in. It's resting.
Never a weapon.
Interesting. Okay, that leaves us the two first. So I think we go for Remtheria. It's the obvious one here. And here's Void, okay. And of course, Tio is Remtherian.
It's been a long time since we last met. We haven't had a chance to speak since the trade conference 2 years ago. Nice to see you again.
I'm glad you seem to be doing well. Lady Wildine is also the first time in many years I've had the pleasure to talk with you. I wouldn't call these ideal circumstances. I'm delighted. You're now the most impressive young lady.
You flatter me. It's good to have time to chat about non-official affairs, see?
So you've known each other for a while.
Prince Albert was a good friend of my late father.
We met for a first time almost over a decade ago. Somehow Alfred and I got on fabulously well right from the start. We talk about politics, economics, social issues, from the evening to the early morning hours. The lakes and marshes of Imperia enchanted Alfred. Said he'd often like to bring his family there.
This takes me back. I was just a little girl back then when I vaguely remember our visits. I mostly played with your niece. She was the same age as me, I believe. I'd like to see her again.
That's right. You two really liked each other, didn't you?
Speaking of your niece,
that's right, I haven't seen her in ages.
There's been some rumors about her going around,
She's becoming traceable lately. As her uncle, I want to protect her, but she's certainly not making it easy. Sometimes I think she does it just to spite me. It's really gotten really gumbly.
He must care a lot about his niece, though he does seem to be a bit overprotective. Oh, he's always been like that.
Apologies for the digression. I shouldn't bore you with the family issues. Ophelia will gladly provide you assistance, be it human resources or medical services. If the SS needs anything, do not hesitate to let me know. Teal, I'm aware of your family situation. If there's anything I can do.
Thank you for the kind offer. It isn't as bad now, though. We'll be keeping more in touch.
That's a relief. It's a friendly guy. You said knows her for a long time. Should make connections with him early on. Should say hello. Must have sworn that. Meeting you has truly been a pleasure. Unfortunate for you to turn out to be Muse's teacher.
He's the best instructor I could have asked for, too.
Oh, wonderful. Perhaps the world is once again at peace. You can visit Remtheria. It's a beautiful place. Imagine you would find much to enjoy. I'll be honored. Hope we can visit soon.
Sounds like the perfect honeymoon destination.
I had no idea your relationship extended beyond that of teacher-student. It doesn't. Please don't take anything she says too seriously. That's funny. As a state which remains remarkably. So that's right. This is the interesting one. Okay, Mr. Smith. for the invitation, President Rocksmith. There's no need.
To be so tense in my presence, Marcus.
Would you like a cup of coffee? There's tea for me, coffee with milk, and sugar for Mrs. Asher. Seeing Cowhead's intelligence agency staffed with only the very elite.
Well, human resources are gonna change for now, as the new party takes over from me.
Is that right?
Tell Herschel, we met at the West Zemuria Trade Conference 2 years ago, isn't that right? Your memory doesn't fail me. You had coffee with milk and sugar at the banquet.
Your memory is excellent.
It's Samuel Rocksmith, President of Calvert. As with most people in power, he dominates the atmosphere with his presence. You know he's on the way out. He's still very influential.
Ah, welcome, Ashen Chevalier. Unfortunately, I haven't been informed what your beverage of choice might be, but since you're well versed in Eastern culture, perhaps green tea would be to your liking.
Thank you, but I only dropped in for a brief chat. Wouldn't want to make a nuisance of myself.
I imagine there's plenty of others who'd like to speak with you today. By the way, I wanted to ask for your opinion on your colleague, Tower Herschel. Would you say that their conflict resolution talents are perfect for the CID?
President Rocksmith.
Didn't see that coming. Heard you're bold, sir, but I never thought you'd suggest something quite that bold.
I'm nowhere near as audacious as the Chancellor. Soon I won't have much authority anymore. However, I cannot stand seeing young talent not being put to good use. It's quite fortunate we met today. If you have any gifted friends who might be inclined to move to Calvert, let me know. I'll gladly welcome them with open arms.
Sorry, no one comes to mind.
You really not want to beat around the bush.
You know, Marcus, I've heard great things about you. If you ever got tired of the way the Empire treats you, I'll happily find your position in our government.
You've an excellent sense of humor, Mr. President. As we heard taught me so demart. Hang in there, Marcus.
So I'm impressed with you.
I'm impressed that you've decided to attend conferences in person, President Rocksmith.
Shame to admit in retrospect, I was always under the impression how politicians cared only about themselves.
With good reason. I'm already looking forward to the end of my term. To be free of these presidential burdens.
That is an interesting bunch of people, but very interesting. Let's quickly just double check. We've already told everyone that. Okay, so with that done,
Can't find anything to do?
hey Jubilee, Swift. I was just wandering around.
Can you drop the epitaph?
You can be informal with Lord and Estelle, and why not me? It's just a slip of the tongue. Besides, there's not much age difference between the three of us. Feels like I should be more respectful when talking to you.
Are you implying that from your point of view I'm old?
No, definitely not.
She's what, 23? She doesn't even look it.
It's probably best to drop it.
Anyway, Lady Mille has more influence in higher echelons than I imagined. She covered prominent political figures, bracers, the special support section, and all of you under the same roof. Even the Black Fang and the Angel of Slaughter are present.
That's right. You know them through Ouroboros.
Yes, I was familiar with the Blade Lord, who often worked with them. Joshua Estray left Ouroboros around the time I joined.
Let's see. That must have been when the brides took him in. What you guys talking about? Swapping some sexy little secrets, I hope.
Is that all you ever think about?
How's the intel gathering going, Crow? Well, Rando's chatty as ever, and if Joshua's... But it's Joshua that's a real treasure trove of info. And isn't the whole weird Vetus? Isn't it kind of weird that Vetus not here?
Emma seems confused by it too. You know what she's like? She's probably working on some grand scheme behind the scenes. Do you not notice the tension in the air?
I guess. I think I know what you mean.
It's not just you Awakeners that are particularly sensitive to it. Everyone gathered here seems to sense something ominous brewing. Whether there's a connection to Operation Mille, Mirage or not, we'll likely find out over dinner.
Yeah. There's the rivalries too. The calm before the storm might be over. The calm before the storm might be over soon. Could just be me, but we better be prepared.
I agree. Let's see what happens. Keep my eyes and ears open. Let's see what else I can learn. My apologies for disturbing a pleasant conversation. Dinner is now ready to be served. May I ask you to proceed to the banquet hall? Thanks. I remember the food here being pretty good. It was cooked by the finest chefs those Erebonian nobles could find. Fish burgers of yours are quite delectable as well, I must admit. Sometimes simple is the best. Glad you remember, honestly. It was a while ago. There aren't anything special, just quick and easy. I believe you guys everywhere. Dinner is about to start. Great, I'm starving. The discussion that follows is the main course, isn't it? That's right, it's more than just a social event. Let's get going. It's rare to keep good food waiting. Speaking of which, I should probably eat myself in real life. Afterward, all the guests, including the leaders of each state, gathered together at the banquet. A modest but wonderful meal thus began, provided by Duchess Cayenne. The lunch started a bit later, but the guests thoroughly enjoyed the fare and had lively conversations. It was a unique opportunity for the attendees. Many meaningful exchanges were made. Sometime later, enjoyable as it was, the meal came to an end. Everyone then transitioned into a meeting portion of the event. The details of Mille Mirage were revealed.
What you see before you is an outline of Operation Mille Mirage, our response to Operation Jormungand.
I knew it.
It doesn't stray too far from what we'd expected, but even so.
Seeing it all laid out like this makes it overwhelmingly real.
I get that a plan this crazy is probably our only hope, but still, we're really gonna do this, huh?
All Out World War. I think that's probably what it's going to be.
The Empire has drastically increased its military might, due largely in part to the draft. Current estimates number their forces at 1.2 million strong, and that figure will only rise before the fighting actually starts.
On the other hand, Calvard's military can barely scrape together 800,000, at most. Even if they try to boost their ranks with a draft of their own, that probably won't go over too well, judging by their last election.
Not to mention the huge difference in weapons and resources between the two countries. In terms of both aerial combat fleets and core tank units, Erebonia has a clear advantage. And that's without taking Panzer Soldats into account.
Yeah, there's no way the Verne Company's production line could even hope to keep up. What's more, the Empire now has an excuse to throw all the new technology it's been developing into this war.
With that in mind, it's entirely possible that the Civil War was nothing more than an opening move.
I agree. It seems likely.
To test or to, figure that all out.
The same could be said of the orbital shutdown phenomenon, or even the 100 Days War. It is our belief that these events were simply set up, all to pave the way for Operation Jormungand.
Damn it! Those monsters!
And Mille Mirage is your plan for how to hold back Operation Jormungand. We have with us the Republican Army of Calvard, the Royal Army of Liberl, the Remiferian and Viceland armies, as well as troops from Le Mans and Orid, and even resistance cells acting out of Crossbell in Northumbria.
You intend to coordinate every one of these individual forces united under a single banner to suppress the Imperial Army from all sides.
That's exactly right.
I mean, it might be the only way, to be fair.
As you stated before,
Calvard's armed forces total 800,000 strong. The Viceland army should bring that number up by about 100,000.
The Principality of Remiferia is prepared to lend its aid as well, to the effect of approximately 80,000 troops. Add to that figure an additional 120,000 from the Kingdom of Liberl.
Further, we can count on receiving around 20,000 soldiers from Le Mans and Orid combined, as well as another 10,000 from Crossbell and North Ambria. And this is to remain off the record, but we're expecting roughly 30,000 in reinforcements from Arteria as well.
Naturally, we plan on bringing Jaegers into the fight too. We've been scouting out Jaeger corps big and small. All in all, I'd say we're looking at a good 40,000 extra soldiers.
Altogether a combined total of 1.2 million. Finally putting us on even ground with Operation Jormungand.
A war like this would stretch over almost half the continent.
It's gonna go through all of them.
Resistance cells from Crossbell, huh? That must be Sonia and the others.
Yeah, Muriel told me a bit about it, but...
Muriel being his CGF girlfriend.
North Ambria too? That have something to do with the movements we heard about there?
Yeah. The resistance there is made up of former members of the Northern Jaegers, who got absorbed into the Imperial Army.
And we got troops from Le Mans and Orid too. That would be their defense forces, no?
That's right. We've actually known about their involvement for a little bit.
I have to say, I'm surprised the High Seat of the Septian Church would choose to involve themselves so directly.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
But Rosine mentioned something about this earlier, didn't she?
Yes. The Congregation for Divine Worship is likely deploying the Papal Guard as we speak.
The Imperial Army's technological superiority is undeniable, and we can't underestimate the threat Ouroboros poses either. Further, directing and coordinating all parties involved will prove a tremendously difficult task. That is the purpose of our meeting, to determine who will serve as the key piece in our plan, the cornerstone upon which we can build our success. I present to you Cassius Bright, Lieutenant General of the Royal Army of Liberl. And, as of today, Supreme Commander of Operation Mille Mirage.
I mean, it makes the most sense.
What?
Now that's what I call a power move.
A natural decision. Lieutenant General Bright did head the search and destroy operations against the cult in Crossbell.
As well as defeating the Erebonian army against overwhelming forces last time they tried to invade Liberal.
What's more, he can already boast having pushed back an Imperial invasion once before. He's the most brilliant tactician of our time, without a doubt.
I should have known.
So you've accepted the position then, Dad? Even after hearing everything that's going to happen as a result of this plan?
I have. This can truly be called the Great War, the likes of which mankind has never seen before. A war that will surely destroy the lives of all it touches, soldiers and civilians alike. Hundreds of thousands of lives. Worst comes to worst, we could see casualties in the millions.
Millions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But at least it will keep the Empire from completely destroying everything.
Yeah, she has a point.
I think I speak for us all when I say this dreadful decision weighs heavily on our hearts. But there are stakes here far more dire than the invasion of Calvard itself. Namely, Erebonia's 2 septarians, as well as its curse, which spreads further and further with every land it conquers.
It's all connected.
If we don't act soon, the Republic will fall to the Empire's advance, drowning the entire nation in its curse. It would then only be a matter of time before the surrounding countries fell as well, until finally all of Zemuria is in the curse's grasp. All for the sake of reviving the ultimate being, the Great One. This we must avoid above all else. If this dreadful decision is the only chance we have of saving our world, then so be it.
This whole catastrophe began in Erebonia. Though I can't personally agree to this plan, as a member of the Imperial family, I must allow it. Your Highness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
This is the consensus we have reached. I trust you understand now the reason we've gathered here.
There are a few things we must ask you now. Namely, if you accept the necessity of our plan. And furthermore, if we can count on your cooperation.
I'm sure you'd like some time to talk things over amongst yourselves, and with your other allies as well. But as you can probably tell, that's time we just don't have.
Members of the Bracer Guild, Special Support Section, Class VII, and Thor's Military Academy as a whole. We need your answers, here and now. How do you respond?
Okay. Everyone's gonna look at Reen.
When it comes down to it, we, the Special Support Section, are just a single division of the CPD. We're in no position to defy the will of a nation, let alone four. We understand the severity of the situation. But be that as it may, we can't, in good faith, lend our aid to this cause. There has to be a better way to fix this mess we're in, and we won't back down until we figure out how. Not just to stop this war, but so that someday, Crossbell can take back its independence for good.
I see.
You can count the Bracer Guild out of this deal, too. We're the supporting gauntlet of the common people. Their security and protection will always come first. But at the same time, we understand that you have to do this. So instead, we'll make sure to get in touch with our headquarters in Le Mans to organize an evacuation plan for all the citizens. And in the meantime, we'll look for our own way to resolve this, just like the SSS. That's the Bracer Guild's decision.
Estelle.
With so many of us still missing, we can't claim to speak for Thors as a whole. But we can, at the very least, tell you our decision as Class VII. Become the foundation of the world. In a sense, those words have shaped our class from the very beginning. A war this big is certainly one way to keep the curse in check. We could be a new foundation afterwards, one built over ruins and destruction. But this curse is not absolute. Though it sweeps across the nation, toying with our fate, there are still those who stand together to resist it. We've seen as much with our very own eyes.
Indeed we have.
We need a plan to try and ensure the safety of the world as we know it. Mille Mirage can be that plan. But, like the Guild and the SSS, we choose to find a third path forward for ourselves. That means dealing with any incidents brought about by the curse, as well as the rivalries. Whether or not that's even possible, I don't know. Time is running out on us even as we speak.
Okay.
Yet still, we'll continue to tread forward, step by step.
For those who came before us.
Because we owe it to Prince Olivert to find that third path he always strove to take.
Reen.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
The path Prince Olivert would have wanted.
I see.
My goodness. The naivete of youth never fails to astound me. And yet, as history shows us, it is precisely the young and foolish who bring change to the world.
The same could be said of those not bound by duty or tradition.
Very much so.
Come to think of it, Prince Olivert himself embodied every one of those qualities.
He most certainly did. And his spirit lives on in this next generation.
The true kids of Olivert. Of Oliver Risse Anor.
We have heard your convictions, clear and true. Operation Mille Mirage is already underway, but so long as you respect our position, we will respect yours in turn.
You're under no obligation to participate in our plan. That said, we'd appreciate your help wherever possible. That includes exchanging information, keeping civilians safe, and so on.
We certainly have more room to cooperate than Operation Jormungand does at the very least. You Bracers played a pivotal role in solving the incidents in Liberl, as did the Special Support Section in Crossbell. I eagerly await seeing what such seasoned heroes can bring to the table.
Thank you. We won't disappoint.
I don't know if I'd call us heroes exactly, but we'll help out in any way we can.
The legend of heroes?
Well, that suspense was killing me.
As grim as our circumstances are, we now know what our mission must be.
Right! We gotta do everything we can to stop this war before it begins. And even if it does, we'll just have to find a way to end it.
Right. Our first course of action is figuring out exactly what we can accomplish right now as members of Thors. I imagine the rivalries will play a key role in that.
Yeah, it feels like that's what's going to come up in this next
Agreed.
section.
You're all pretty gung-ho about this, huh?
How are you guys so relentlessly positive about everything?
It really is the most annoying thing about them, isn't it?
Shit.
Wait a sec.
I know that voice.
It's him!
Enforcer number 0 of Ouroboros.
Campanella, show yourself.
Sounds like things are coming along nicely over here. Quite the illustrious guest list you have here. I'm almost starstruck.
Okay.
Indeed. It would seem the rumors weren't unfounded.
Maribel.
Belle! The new third Anguis of Ouroboros.
Lady Mildine, my greetings to you and all the leaders of the world gathered here today. I see a number of familiar faces and some new ones too. My, how delightful.
You must be Dieter Croesus' daughter. I've heard the rumors of what you've become.
A member of an international terrorist organization. Gracious me, the audacity of this woman.
Whoa, he really called it, huh, Lady Belle?
Ha, you're one to talk.
Hey, this is some party you guys got going on.
Oh god, Shirley.
Real swanky joint, too. Shame for you, Zephyr's here to crash.
Shirley! You...
Boss! That means Zeno and Leo are here too, doesn't it?
Sure does. But hey, we're not done with the lineup just yet. Don't think things will go the same for you here as they did at the workshop.
Please excuse our intrusion.
Sharon.
George!
So you've come.
Oh, wow.
Lecter. It's really you.
In the flesh. Long time no see, ladies.
All the pieces at play.
My lady, everyone, it has been quite some time.
You should have just kept the mask on, Angie.
If you're all quite finished, it's time I make the final introduction.
Your Highness!
Cedric, why are you...
Ah, if it isn't my dear sister Alphen. And Class 7. Your little stunt in leaves caused me no end of headaches.
You had it coming! That's what you get for getting Elise and Tio all wrapped up in your schemes!
Here we go.
That's simply how it works between us. You should understand this by now. The rivalries are no different. This particular matter has been entrusted to me by Chancellor Osborne himself. Consider this a little congratulatory visit from us to celebrate the commencement of Operation Mille Mirage.
Were we just hacked?
Yep. They probably used the Society's astral code to infiltrate the system.
Courtesy of Belle and the Fool, I'd assume.
Sounds like we're in for a fair bit of trouble then, huh?
Yeah, they're coming.
What the?
Damn! They brought Imperial warships! No, not quite.
This is the bridge. We have an emergency. We've got 8 Crimson ships approaching on our 9. And with them, a 280 Arch class airship.
Here we go.
Damn! There's only one ship that friggin' massive.
You mean the one that appeared during the orbital shutdown? That's right. Ouroboros' pride and joy. The largest battleship in the history of mankind.
The Crimson Ark. The Glorious.
Okay. This big old motherfucker. In come the enforcers, the gnomes, and one Angus. If only we could get onto that thing. I see. So it's just advance warning predicted. Moreover, it's one of the Empire's ships. Not one of the Empire ships, one of Ouroboros' aircraft carriers. What does this mean? As if they expected us. At the end of the meeting, Duchess Cayenne did make one prediction. Either the Imperial Air Force or Ouroboros' battle carrier would appear in the skies. Word to the Imperial Air Force. Their progress down the path of violence would be deterred in a sense. The airship is directly above the borders. The leaders of each stayed on board. An attack on the ship would be simply too reckless. Even if it were successfully captured, this would be a massive effect on cross-national negotiations. And that would instantly bring a halt to the war. That's what she was betting on, wasn't it? Things turned out differently, though. They opted for an Ouroboros-affiliated ship. Since the princess and the other leaders entombed here would just add fuel to the fire for the war. No. Damn it. They're planning a pin it on Calvin, aren't they? This is no joke. We can't let this happen. Of course. I swear on the honor of the Bracers Guild. You guys called us here knowing this would happen, didn't you? Of course. It worked out perfectly. We still have an escape room available for our guests, so you needn't worry about that. Can I get each of you to divide your troops in half and accompany them to the hangar? Enemy forces are coming from the deck. I'd like the remaining half to help take care of them. It's divided into 2 groups. One for starboard, one for port. Whoa, you guys prepared for that far in advance? That's the command. Why don't we do this? We don't have time. Let's decide on the groups. Short balance the teams well. Understood. Reen, Lloyd, and Estelle divided everyone in teams, making sure to keep them balanced. The result was a counter-attack led mainly by Reen in Class VII, but Estelle, Joshua, Ren, Lloyd, Ellie, Theo, Crow, Jimmy, and the others. The other members worked with Aurelia, making their way to the hold, ensuring safety of other national leaders. Okay. Well, I think this is actually a good place to say. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time in Trails of Cold Steel.